Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we are again. Let's get some work done. So I'm on Mod 4, Course 3, I believe, of the Azure Developer, which is the AZ204 certification test. Developing for Azure is what it is, and it's the certification test for that. But there's 7 modules, so I got to get through this one. There's only 5, I'm sorry, there's 7 courses. No, it's 8 courses. I don't remember. I think it's 7 courses, and in this module, or in this course, there are only 5 modules, and this is module 4. I've done the videos, and now I'm ready to do some exercises. It looks like here we've got basically 4 straight exercises, and I'm thinking these exercises are kind of connected because each one is like a basic step moving towards something that's more complete as we get into the next item. So. And then we'll do practice quiz, knowledge check, test prep, done. So it'll go pretty fast. Well, depending on the assignments. Let's get started. Okay, so this one is exercise is create Azure storage resources. Again, see, this is kind of thing we've done multiple times in the previous courses. You usually have to create this stuff to do stuff in Azure. So this is why I think we're doing these various exercises, sometimes replicated. So let me update my tags quick. Okay, got a few updated. These are mostly just for Twitch, because YouTube doesn't, Nightbot doesn't know how to update tags in YouTube. So I think it's part of it is you can't actually set tags in YouTube before maybe you can if you set up, I don't know how you would do it during the stream. All right, let's get going. So first in the exercise, after you have an idea about how you're going to store data across accounts, containers, and blobs, you can think about Azure resources. You'll need storage accounts. Storage account creation is an administrative management activity. Accounts are usually created by deployment or environment setup script, or an Azure Resource Manager template, or manually. Apps other than administrative tools generally should not have permission to create storage accounts. Unlike storage account creation, container creation is a lightweight activity that makes sense to perform from within an app. It's not uncommon for apps to create and delete containers as part of their work. For apps that rely on a known set of containers with hard-coded or pre-configured names, a typical practice is to let the app create the containers it needs and start up our first usage if they don't really already exist. Letting your app create containers instead of doing it as part of the app's deployment, it limits the need for both your app and your deployment process to know the names of the containers the app uses. You're going to complete an unfinished ASP.NET Core app by adding code to Azure Blob Storage. This exercise is more about exploring the Blob Storage API than it is about designing an organization naming scheme, but here's a quick overview of the app and how it stores. Your app works like a shared folder. So this is just talking about it. This isn't even actually doing anything. It says it's an exercise, create Azure storage resources, but you don't actually create anything. The code you'll start with compiles and runs, but the parts responsible for storing and loading data are empty. After you complete the code, you'll deploy the app to Azure App Services and test it. Let's set up the storage infrastructure for your app. You'll use the Azure Cloud Shell with the CLI to create storage. You'll need to provide a unique name for the storage account. Make note of, all right, So, okay, we are doing something. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to my Azure account. And while I'm at it, let's do my Monday check. My Monday check tells me what I'm referring to is cost management. Just checking to see if I'm paying anything. So far, so good. I don't owe any money. Oh, wait, maybe I do. What's this? Current cost $10.13. Ooh, it's getting up there. All right, so I got to see what this was breakdown of and see if I need to get rid of anything that shouldn't be out here. I mean, obviously, I got to keep the cost down, so I should probably dump anything that's not supposed to exist. So obviously, I got something in here that forecast chart view. Yeah, so we got to cut this out. So I don't actually need anything that's on my thing right now, so I can pretty much dump all of these things. Let's take this one, delete it. Enter the name of the account. Really, the only thing I need, service bus namespace. This one I can keep because I don't think it has anything on it. We should not have anything left. That's just my subscription, my one resource group that has stuff in it. Let's go look at my resource group. I don't think there's anything in it, but let's go look at all my resources. Make sure I don't have something that I've loaded up. I can get rid of this sales map thing. I can get rid of, I don't really want to get rid of the signal R thing. I don't think having that is a problem. But the signal map I don't want. Get rid of anything that, you know, could be accumulating fees. Oh wait, nope, deleting the wrong thing. Oh no, that's right. Alright, so this is a service bus namespace. Select the resources along with their related resources and contents will be deleted. Okay, that's fine. Don't think getting rid of actually, I should probably get rid of the Cosmos DB thing. I don't know what that is, but I don't need. This is just the DB I was using in testing the signal R. I can probably get rid of that. To be honest, I'm not. I'll have to look to see what the exact fees were, but I just saw that someone said $10. We don't want that. So the little bar there is moving still. Getting rid of stuff. All right, let's go home. Let's go to cost management. Let's go see what it is exactly that I was charged for. So we'll go here. It'll tell me where things were actually being charged. Yeah, that was a Cosmos DB. Man, $10 for a few days. Holy moly. I can see why people don't want to use Azure Cosmos. That's expensive. So I created it on June 30th. It was $10 by June 7th. Wow. That was like 7 days. So $10 a week to have a basic Azure account. So it'd be $40 a month just to have an Azure account. So that's a simple, basic, nothing account, basic database. So I don't know how much it holds, but is it worth $40 a month? I would say probably not. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing, what your business is. But as for a developer who just wants to learn how to use this stuff, yeah, that's not a thing. I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's go in. I just got to make sure I word on cleanup. That's at the end of every module they usually tell you. And lastly, a word on cleanup. Delete your stuff. I should have deleted that because I've had it for a week, and look what it did. It cost me $10. So watch your stuff. If you're on Azure, be very careful. Monitor your stuff. Send yourself alerts. You can set up alerts that'll come to you. You want to make sure you knock that stuff off as much as possible. Keep it clean. Anything you don't need. While you're training, as long as you delete stuff right away, probably talking about pennies, dollars, tops, for a month. So don't worry about it. But if you don't delete, don't be surprised if you get a $10 bump after a week. This is me checking after a week. What if I hadn't checked? That's the question. Well, you would have found finding yourself with $10 worth of charge. Or a month, it could have been 40 or $50. Who knows? So yeah, be careful. All right, so back to task. I'm actually going to take this guy. I'm going to actually create a separate window because I want to do this in a side-by-side view. Oops. Let's try that again. Click here. Click here. I probably could have just put that there. Okay, so we'll go back to my Coursera here. All right, so we're going to go to the Azure CLI. So we're going to go to the client. And then we're going to go AG to create the storage account, run this command. So we're going to run this command. And that's it. This is it. This is the entire exercise. There's some words followed by this command. But I do want to first go to my little side view here. I got to fill in some information here, so just to prepare it. So what I usually do is I'll take the command that it wants me to do, and I'll paste the item like that, because I have to replace. Make a note of it for later. Replace your unique storage account name with the name you choose. So the name you choose, your unique storage account name. Now storage account names, I believe, have to be all lowercase. So we'll call this AMG AZ204 mod 4 storage account. Let's shorten it. Let's shorten that all the way down to account. So, there you go. Now, you have to have a resource group. I am not doing this in the sandbox. I don't actually have a sandbox account currently set up. You have to set them up kind of as you go. So I'm actually going to change this name to my AZ204 course. AZ204 underscore course. That's just my built-in one. So now I've got it ready to go. we'll go copy, and then I'll come down here and go paste. And we'll hit enter. Now, that's it. The app you'll be working within the module uses a single container. You're going to follow the best practice of letting the app create the container at startup. However, container creation can be done from if you'd like to see the documentation in the Cloud Shell terminal, run az container create -help. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go over to my OneNote. Uh-oh, something blew up. Oh, I probably have a bad name or something. Probably didn't do that quite right. Oh, I put brackets. When you replace something, you gotta replace the brackets too. All right, let's open up my my notes. AZ training. We'll go over to my commands. I actually have a list of CLI commands. I'm going to put this one here. Wait, what did I do? Okay, I'm not sure what I just did, but that was not what I was aiming for. Copy. All right, AZ storage container H. I just want to show what it is. Get help on creating container. Okay, that's it. Let's probably put down my command back in here, this time without the square brackets. Work. Still doing it. Hopefully, if it works, I can just go on to the next one, and we'll be on to the next assignment. These, like I said, these are pretty basic. I mean, the whole thing was read some stuff, get a grasp of what it is. It looks like it did it, and then I am going to actually take the feedback on this because I actually want to see. Just want to hold on to this. This JSON reply just for a bit. I'll put it in my temporary note that I have here so I can have it if I need to. And we'll say mark as completed, go to next item, and here we go. The next thing is more reading, with these bottom stuff being the actual work. All right, the following is the typical workflow for apps that use Azure Blob Storage. Retrieve configuration at startup. Load the storage account configuration. This is typically storage account connection string. Initialize client. To initialize the Azure Storage Client library, use the connection string. This creates the objects the app will use to work with the Blob Storage API. To operate on containers and blobs, make API calls with the client library. Configuring your connection string. Before running your app, you'll need to get your connection string to configure it. Do not place storage account keys in code or in unprotected configuration files. Storage account keys enable full access to your storage account. Leaking a key can result in unrecoverable damage and large bills. For storage guidance and advice about how to recover from a leaked key at the end of this module, see the further reading section. So I got to make sure I do this for safety's sake, keep it out of play. Initialize the blob storage object model. In the Azure Storage SDK for .NET Core, the standard pattern for using blob storage consists of the following steps. To get a cloud storage account, call cloud storage account.parse with your connection string. To get a cloud blob client, call create cloud blob client on the cloud storage account. And to get the cloud blob container, call get container reference on the cloud blob client. So it's 3 steps. To get a list of blobs and or get references to individual blobs to upload and download data, use methods on the container. In code, steps 1 to 3 look like this. I'm going to copy these. These are not what I need right now, but they are samples for my code. So I'm going to actually just kind of hold on to those just because I think they might be useful, maybe, kind of, sort of. Maybe not, but hey, when I'm studying later, I'm going to want to know everything I can. All right. 2, in the editor, open the controller files controller.cs. There's no work to do here, but you're going to have a quick look at what the app does. In the editor, so what's the editor to this guy? Is it going to be this one, which means I have to go back to a classic view because that won't work? Go to classic version because I can't get. I don't know. Now this did create here in my account, so I'm not too worried about it. I should actually be able to refresh this and see my, oops, maybe not. All right, because I haven't gone to it. Maybe it's in here. Yeah, it is. There's my mod 4 thing. Okay. All right, so now what else we got here? In the editor, open the controllers file controller dot. So I have to actually get to the editor. First, let's clone the starter app from GitHub in Azure Shell Client to get a copy of the source code and open it in the editor. So let's do this. So it is code dot would open it, obviously. So we're going to get this. There's my editor, because that's the last thing it does. All right, so we did that. All this was clone the data, change the folder, and then go code dot, which is open the thing. Okay, so these are the controllers that actually were created that I was showing up above. We got cloud storage account dot parse. In the editor, open file controller.cs. File controller.cs. Sorry. There's no work to do, but you're going to have a quick look at what the app does. This controller implements API with 3 actions. So we got the API controller, file uploaders.controller, route API controller, public class, file controller, regex, so it's using Lambda stuff. Private read-only, public file controllers. Get the API, HTTP get, called by the page when it's first loaded. An HTTP get, an HTTP post, and another get. But this is a get that uses a parameter of file name. And sanitized file name. Huh. Okay. It's the index. The app front end calls this method to build a list of hyperlinks to the uploaded files. Receives an uploaded file and saves it, and downloads an individual file by its name. To do this work, each method has an iStorage instance called storage. Each what? There's each method. Oh. Form. Oh, there it is, storage. Storage, and this is the reference to file controls. We actually get that object, storage. Oh, we're using it. Okay. Add a reference. Add a reference to Azure Storage SDK. In the Azure Shell client, run the following command: .NET restore. Okay. The .NET tools collects usage data. Read more. Installing an ASP.NET Core certificate. To trust it to certificate, run .NET Dev. Write your first app. Determine projects to restore. Okay. This will make sure you're using the newest version of the blob storage client library. Oh, okay. The configuration values. That's you know what? I'm going to keep that command. I want to have that. .NET restore. Command confirms you are using the newest version of the blob storage client library. Configuration value we need are the storage account connection string and the name of the container the app will use to store files in. In this module, you're only going to run the app in Azure App Service. So you'll follow App Service best practices, store the values in the App Service app settings. You'll do that when we create the App Service instance, so there's nothing you need to do at the moment. When it comes to using the configuration of our starter app already includes the plumbing you need. The iOptions constructor parameter in blob storage has two properties: the storage account connection string and the name of the container your app will store blobs in. There is code in the configuration services method of the startup.cs that loads the value from configuration when the app starts. So in the editor, models, we want to open up models. And we're going to open up blob storage CS. And to the top of the file, add the following using statements. Is it not there already? System.link, no. And then Windows Azure storage and storage blob. Locate the initialize method. There it is, initialize. Your app will call this method when blob storage is used for the first time. If you're curious, you can look at configuration services startup to see how this is done. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's go look at it. Configuration services. You can look at configuration services and startup.cs. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Is that it? Is that all it is? Locate the initialize method. Your app call this method from blob storage is used. If you're curious, you can look at configuration service startup to see how this is done. Your app will call this method when blob storage is used for the first time. If you're curious, you can look at configuration services. There it is. Add options, configuration services, services, add a single service. Blob storage equals new blob. Service container. Get results. Oh, there it is. Blob storage dot initialize dot get awaiter dot get results. Get awaiter. That is he who waits. Right. I think some of these are interesting names for sure. You know, that's one of the things as a developer. You know, when you create methods, you're coming up with names, and it's just funny how you have to. You know, some things are kind of standard. Get result. Get it. Get the item you're building. Okay, so whatever it is, if you know specifically the type, you might not say get results. You might say get user information, or get user, get automobile, or get whatever you're getting. But or if it's math, it's get result, right? So you're doing some kind of thing, and you're saying of this, get the result for it. But it's just, it might even be more specific. Like this might be get a waiter total, something like that. But you're always coming up with your own naming conventions and trying to come up with things that kind of sound standardized, but it doesn't always work out. Initialize is where you want to create your container if it doesn't already exist. Replace the current implementation of initialize, and that's going to be over here where I was in the blob storage CS, with this stuff. Copy. All right, so that's it. That's all we got to do. Initialize is where you want to create your container if it doesn't already exist. Replace the current implementation of initialize with the following code. So this is basically, it says normally when you create your stuff, you would have the container created. So you kind of want your code to create the container automatically, but only if it doesn't exist. So container.create if not exist. But notice you don't really do much with the item. I mean, you're going to create the container here, and as it mentioned in the previous, there are 3 lines, right? So there's create storage account, create the client that comes from the storage account, and create the container that comes from the client. And then in that you have blob client dot container reference. You're just getting back the reference of the storage container name, and then like you're all set. So basically you develop this container object, and now you're going to say, okay, we have an object, we want you to create it in the system if it doesn't already exist, because we don't want to create it over and over again. That's it. We're all done. Control S. But again, we're just keeping this because as we go on, we're going to do more with it. So we'll go to the next item. And now we have get blob references. Working with the individual blob in the Azure Storage SDK for .NET Core requires a blob reference, an instance of an iCloud object. You can get an iCloud blob, an iCloud blob object. You can get an iCloud blob by requesting it with the blob's name or selecting it from a list of blobs in the container. Both require a cloud blob container, which we just created. Well, we created the code that'll create it. Getting blobs by name. To get a cloud blob by name, call one of the get blah 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 reference methods on the cloud blob container. If you know the type of blob you're retrieving, to get an object that includes methods of properties tailored for the blob type, use one of the specific methods. Get blob reference, get append blob reference, and get page blob reference. None of these methods make trying to read with a yawn. None of these methods make network calls, nor do they confirm whether or not the targeted blob actually exists. They only create a blob reference object locally, which can then be used to call methods that do operate over the network and interact with blob storage. A separate method, get blob reference from service async, does call the blob API and will throw an exception if it doesn't exist. So basically, you're creating a variable. You're just creating a variable. You haven't set it to nothing. It doesn't do anything, but you have an object now. You're creating an object variable to this item, and then once you start trying to do stuff with it, that's when it's going to actually try to connect. That's basically what they're saying. So you can create these objects. They don't do anything until you attempt to make it respond, and then it will look at the database and go. It's kind of like what you did here, right? So nothing happens in the database, but if like your storage account information that you used doesn't exist, this is going to blow up. It's not going to be able to create the container because it needs to know what that connection string is, right? The storage config connection string. That reminds me, when did they have me put my connection string information in? I haven't done that yet. I'm guessing it's somewhere in here. Or maybe we do it later, because I don't think they've actually had us put that in yet. All right, you can get a list of blobs in a container using Cloud Blob Container. Segmented refers to the separate pages of results returned. A single call to list blob segment async is never guaranteed to return all results in a single page. You may need to call it repeatedly using continuation token. It returns to work our way through the pages. Let's try that again. You may need to call it repeatedly using the continuation token it returns to work our way through the pages. This makes the code for listing blobs a little more complex than the code for uploading or downloading, but there's a standard pattern you can use to get every blob in a container. A hiccup. That was weird. Just every now and then you'll just see me twitch and jerk. Hey, what is going on, dude? Just nothing. Just hiccuping. But there's a standard pattern you can use to get every blob in a container. So when you hiccup, people don't usually say excuse me for hiccuping, but they say excuse me for burping. So if you hiccup, is it like a full burp? And so you just say excuse if it's a half burp? Or do you just like pretend like it didn't happen and hope they didn't see you twitch? Did anybody see that? Hope not. Okay, but there's a standard pattern you can use to get every blob in a container. That one. This will call list blobs segmented async repeatedly until continuation token is null, which signals the end of the result. You do a do while loop. Ooh, big surprise. So yeah, so you're basically just going to go through the code and just list stuff out. Now it doesn't say, never assume the list blob segments async results will arrive in a single page. Always check for a continuation token and use it if it's present. So as a matter of practice, this would be a good example to make sure you get all your blob items listed. This is a good example of how to make sure you get all of your blob references listed when you are calling for a list. All right, now, important. Oh, we already did that. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Oh, we're at the bottom already. Okay, so processing list results. The object you'll get from list blob segmented async contains a results property of type enumerable. The iList blob item interface includes only a handful of properties about the blob container and URL and isn't very useful by itself. To get useful blob objects out of results and to filter and cast the result to more specific blob object types, use the ofType method. Here are a few examples. So I'm going to grab this because, again, this could be a good reference. It says a few examples, but I'm not actually seeing more. Is there a third one? There's not. It's only 2 examples. There are a couple of examples. All right. Get type will help get more meaningful / functional objects to work with. All right. Exercise. This is the actual work. One of the features in your app requires getting a list of blobs from the API. You'll use the pattern previously shown to list all the blobs in our container. As you process the list, you get the name of each blob. Using the editor, replace get names in blobstorage.cs with the following code and save your changes. Blobstorage.cs. load, get names. Okay. So we're going to replace high tasking numeral string. Yep, everything inside of here. Copy all the way to there. And I'll tab that over. Oops. Wait, do? Wait a minute. Oh, I forgot. I didn't move all of it. I only moved part of it. That's why that looked weird. Okay, let's try again. I didn't move that one either. Dang it. Let's move everything. Alright. So we're saved. Note that the method signature now needs to specify async. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh shoot, did I put that in the wrong place? I did. Holy McFolians. Alright, so let's just do, let's dang it. I did the wrong one. I'm supposed to be doing get names. What am I doing, man? It's not get names, that's save. It's actually everything. Okay, so the big change here, or the big thing that they're calling out, which is a good thing they did, because see how they say the public async? There is actually a call in this that's going to have an await, which requires your method to have an async call. So let's get this back onto the right spot. I have to do the whole thing. And then we'll go all the way up here. It's probably still not right. No, it does say return name. Okay. Alright, so we got all of it this time. Now we're set. To turn them into URLs, the names returned by the method are processed by file controller when they are returned to the client. They are rendered by hyperlinks on the page. Okay, so you can see that we're going to go do the do while like it mentioned up here earlier to get the full list, because you got this continuation token. It only returns a continuation token if there is more to show than what's in the page or in a single page. So I say never assume it's going to come back a single page. Grab a continuation token. I should probably mark that down. Oops, what did I do? Let's go to my blob storage thing here. Put down a note here. I am again just tracking down the things that I think are important, or especially if I want to work with this in the future. So to get blob list, always check for a continuation token to be sure you got all items. If there is a token, i.e. not null, then list the next page. Example here. So I'm going to go over to my commands, and we're going to go copy link to paragraph. And we're going to go over to my blob storage, and we're going to go here, and I'm going to go link. Okay, and I'm going to learn to spell. I'm going to click that. See, it takes me right back to my blob continuation token, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we got that. Okay, when they are returned to the client, they are rendered as hyperlinks on the page. Okay, so that's going to do all that stuff. Let's hit Control S to make sure we have it. Control S to make sure it's saved. Complete link. Okay, so we're done. Hold on just a brief moment. I check. Hey, did you know the new Superman movie coming out is going to have Christopher Reeve's son in the movie? I think he's just making like Okay. Or wait, let's do the next thing, I guess. For Marcus, go and go to the next thing. Go to next item. There's only one more thing. Last thing is a reading cleanup. It's interesting. We have reading, or exercise, 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 cleanup, exercise. Why don't we just keep going? Why do we have to do the cleanup? I don't know. After you have a reference to blob, you can upload and download data objects that have upload and download methods that support byte arrays, streams, and file stuff. Create new blobs. To create a new blob, call one of the upload methods on a reference to a blob that doesn't exist in storage. This does two things: creates the blob in storage and uploads the data. Move data to and from blobs. Moving data to and from a blob is a network operation that takes time. In the Azure Storage SDK for .NET Core, all methods that require network activity return tasks. So make sure you use the await. So it takes time, use await, make sure it gets done before you continue on. A common recommendation when working with large data objects is to use streams instead of in-memory structures like byte arrays or strings. This avoids buffering the full. It's interesting. The await thing is pretty standard now. You have the task, you have async, you have await to help wait. That's good because this is like modern code, right? Modern stuff that's in there, because this has not been the norm in the past. And I actually created an entire application that had multiple points where I needed things to wait for stuff to happen. So I was always adding wait methods and loops to make sure that, that things got done. It would check for certain things to be completed, and then it would move on to the next. So it was kind of a constant back and forth of trying to make sure that my code was complete so that I could run and complete, everything would be done before it would move on to the next. That whole thing could be rewritten now with tasks that have async and await calls just built into them so that things can get finished first. And you can always still have your method doing things like making sure that whatever's happening is not hung up or whatever, because you have an await for a method. But now you can just have that method monitor itself, go through, do its steps. If there's a pause or something, maybe have a loop or something. I mean, sometimes you got to check to make sure that the task isn't hung up, right? Because if you're doing a wait for something and it blows up or, gets stuck in a loop or something doesn't happen, maybe the network's stalling or whatever. So you have to put or maybe put a timer on your await to make sure that, hey, should not take this long. I don't know how you would do that with a task in await. I'm sure there's a way to do that, have a set amount of await. But I'm just saying, now it's built in, it's kind of nice. You can deal with it. You don't have to have the calling structures always be the one responsible. Anyway, a common recommendation when working with large data objects is to use streams instead of in-memory structures like arrays or byte arrays or strings. This avoids buffering the full content in memory before sending it to the target. ASP.NET Core supports reading and writing streams. Other processes may be adding, changing, or deleting blobs. Exercise. Let's finish your app by adding upload and download code. Then deploy it to Azure App Service for testing. Okay, so let's do this. To upload a blob, you'll implement the blob storage.save. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go blob. That was the one I tried to accidentally change earlier. It doesn't have much to it. You can see it's a pretty simple thing. In the editor, replace it with this. Replace save with, this one doesn't have an await. So really, the only thing happening here is stream file, stream, string name. Yeah, so there's no await in this. So theoretically, you could just replace the body of the code, whatever works for you. I'm going to do it the whole thing because it simply says replace that. Sometimes it says replace the code inside. And in this case, it said replace the whole thing. So let's just do it. The stream-based upload code shown here is more efficient than reading the file into a byte array before sending it to Azure Blob Storage. However, ASP.NET Core iForm file technique you use to get the file from the client is not a true end-to-end streaming implementation and is only appropriate for handling uploads of small files. Interesting, really. However, the ASP.NET Core iForm file technique you use to get the file. So there's an iForm file here. Where's that? I would imagine. This is kind of the same as the actual initialize, right? You set up the storage account, you're going to get the storage account, then you're going to go to the blob client, and then you're going to have the blob container, except this time you're actually going to go through and set up the you're going to get the blob reference from the container. And then we're going to upload to that item we just got, which upload form. Yeah, you know, I'm going to go ahead and add another note for my personal study times. We're going to go here. And however, see, I don't know where it says iForm file, but I'm guessing iForm file is an implementation that's going to be inside of one of these other objects, because I don't see where that reference is. iForm file is only meant for handling uploads of very small files. All right, download is going to be the same thing. We're going to do this load. We will copy. Again, it doesn't actually have an await, so probably doesn't really need to be totally replaced. But you can. I mean, it's the exact same signature, public task stream, load, string name, and then the guts in the middle, which is, again, only 3 lines, probably exactly the same with the exception of the last. Yep. So you can see it's, again, just the storage account, the client, and the container. My feeling is, well, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, if I was writing an app, I would probably create some kind of a container object as a universal that already has all this stuff set up. And then all you're doing is the actions on it, right? The return, the name, the assignment, all that stuff all happen after it's initialized. So during initialization, I'd say create the container, put the container into a method, and then just call that object. Why are we... It's like here, we create the container. Couldn't we just create a blob storage container, you know, object like this, and then we just call it? We just use that instead of having to do this every time, because this is exactly the same set every single time. We're not doing anything special. It has a connection string, but it's, once you've created the container, you should be able to use it while you're working here. That's just my thought. But maybe not. Or even just create a get that does this piece. So you'd be creating a get property. You just do the property, it creates the object for you, and each one of them just goes and creates the object, calling it one time or calling it when they need it. You're not repeating your code in every spot. So it's, you know, for me, that would be more efficient than us creating it at every single line, because you're using it in all these objects. If they don't use it, they don't use it. But at least if they do use it, you've only done it once. You don't have repeating code. It's like if something for some reason would ever change, I don't know. I just don't like it. If Azure decided someday they're going to change the name of cloud storage account method, then all you have to do is change it to once, and it'll fix it everywhere that wants to create that object. So anyway, so says me. On to the next thing. Deploy and run in Azure. Your app is finished. Woohoo! Let's deploy it and see if it works. You know, that'd be good. Create an app service app and configure it with app settings for your storage account connection string and container name. Get the storage accounts connection string with Oz storage. I believe I already have my storage account name. I think, wasn't it in my object? Or maybe it isn't. All that notes I took. Any of these connection string? See, I copy and pasted that because I thought it would have all the cool stuff. It does not. So I got to go get it. I got to do what they said. All right, so and let's deploy. The app needs to be globally unique, so you'll need to choose your own name, fill in your own unique name. Let's see. Create an app service. Create an app service app and configure it with app settings. If your storage account connection string container name, get the storage account's connection string with as storage. All right, let's do this. Copy. And I got to take this off screen. Sorry, can't have my connection string being too obvious. I've done it probably in the past, but again, those all got deleted, so it really doesn't matter. But and let's see, storage account. Set the name of the container to be files. Get the storage account's connection string with as storage account. AZ storage account. Show connection string. Oh, gotta put the name in there. Oh, what is that? All right, got my connection string. So my connection string is this puppy. And what else do we need here? The app needs to be globally unique, so you need to have your own. All right, so go here. We'll copy this. I will put this in here. Oh shoot, yeah, I gotta put it over here first because I gotta put my mob resource group. What is the name of my resource groups? AMG or AZ204 underscore course. Okay. AZ204 underscore course. Where is this at? I want to go in the same place. Central, yes. Oh, that works. All right. You know what? You can't do that. I forgot. This is done. So, right. Okay, so it's not going to let me do this. For some reason, it keeps wanting to add extra symbols, which are not going to work for me. Don't know why I suddenly can't do this, because it was working fine a short time ago. And I can't. Alright, so that's not going to work. Let's try this again. There we go. That does. Read-only attribute name will be ignored in class, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we got something back. Something happened. Is that supposed to be what happened? Okay. AZ app service plan create. Is it still doing something? How come I can't get to the bottom? Oh, there we go. All right. AZ web app create. So we gotta do the same thing again. And then we gotta do my unique name. Your unique app name. I don't know. What is my unique app name? So you'll need to choose your own name to fill in. So let's call it AMG AZ 204 mod 4 app. There we go. And then my resource group name, which is once again AZ204 underscore course. And then we gotta take this whole thing, copy, go here and paste. And then we're gonna go to the next thing. All right, now we gotta do the connection string. Get your connection string equals. Now this is where I have to set my connection string to my storage account. Once it's done, when it gets the inkling to be done. Gotta wait for that, which is gonna take its time. Oh, I was gonna say, is it running? Maybe I need to go hit enter again. Okay, so it's good. All right, so now we got to set I'll do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. Let's take the next line. I'll take it over here. Hit paste. And then we got to say, oh, this is, did it actually change? Did it actually change? Oh, did this whole thing start me over? Okay, never mind. Unique storage account name. App service line create. Web app create. Connection string equals. Your unique storage account name. Oh, that's what I already did. I already have the storage account. I don't think I need that. I have a feeling it's the same, but you know what? I'm gonna read it again to see if maybe I was wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. I just need to put it in. AZ web app config. I think it's just telling me how to get it if I need it, but I don't think I need it because I think I already have it. Alright, so I gotta put my connection string in here. Oh, I see what happens. I need to set it to my connection string. That's what I need to do. I did not do that. So I need to create a variable. It's basically what it's telling me to do here. So I'm gonna take this off so that you don't see my variable that I created. Sorry. Gotta be safe. So let's go ahead and create my thingamabob. Oh gosh dang it. Why can't I get to the bottom? That's just crazy talk. It won't let me go to the bottom of my what is going on? Why can't I get to the bottom? This is done. Won't let me go to the bottom of my my window. It's like it thinks it's permanently off screen. Okay. Where was I? I gotta set my connection string. All right, so let's do this. Let's go open my guy here. Now I'm just gonna take my connection string and pop it in here. Okay, what was that? Oh. All right, so the last thing that will be required is for me to run this piece, which will be copy that guy. I think, because right now, let's see, I'll show you what's happening here. Nothing. That's what's happening here. The big fat hairy nothing. Look, see, this just went down here. I've got these cursors going. They're just sitting around, waiting. Nothing's happening. It's like, okay, where's the rest of the code? What's supposed to be happening here? Well, for one, I can tell you it's partially wrong because I did not put my unique app name in that last command. And my sandbox resource name is totally wrong because that's not in the command either. So yeah, creating my own problems. Then, if that was the actual value, I'm not sure what I expected it to do, since there's nothing there. It should have errored or something. I would have expected that. It did not. Try and do that, see if it's any different. No, nothing's happening. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I did all the commands. Now you'll deploy your app. The following commands will publish the site to the pub folder. Maybe I'm just setting things up. Maybe that's all I'm doing. Maybe I'm just setting things up. So let's see what happens. Let's do this next. Now you'll deploy your app. The following commands will publish the site to the pub folder, zip it up into site zip, and deploy the zip to app service. Make sure your shell is still in the MS-learn store directory, which is not. See, I don't think this is working. See, I don't feel like anything's happening. Make sure your shell is still in the MS-learn store app directories directly before running the following commands. See, it's like I did that first piece, and it's like I'm stuck in these. I don't know what's going on. It's like, what is going on here? It's like I just got endless icons now. Don't know what's happening. Don't know what's happening to me. But why can I not get back to my cursor? How do I get out of this? I'm in a stuck state. Yes, please. Ooh, it's a lot. I don't know what all that is, but I don't know how to get out of this either. It said all 104. Oh, it said 1400. But still, even so, see, look, now I'm here again. I can't get out of this. How do I get out of this? Control X, Control Y, Control Z, escape, Control end, Control M. I'm stuck. There's no way to get out of this mess, this situation. Q. The space bar don't do anything. Windows key enter, Control enter, Alt enter, Control Shift enter, Control Y. I have nothing. Wow, what is that? What did I just do? I just opened a window. I don't know how to get out of this. I'm stuck. I guess I have to quit, which is going to suck because I think if I quit this, this is temporary, and I may lose everything. I may, in fact, lose everything. I don't know how to reset my window. Right, but will my stuff disappear? I think my stuff's going to disappear. That's what I think. And then I think I have to go back to classic view. I don't know. It's like I couldn't get out. There was nothing I could do to get out of that. I couldn't continue. I couldn't do anything. And none of my commands had any effect on anything. So yeah, I was pretty hosed. And then I go here. And go to beta. I don't want to go to beta version. Alright, so let's go. Copy. Paste again. Oh look, see, it doesn't even exist. Store app data with Azure Blob Storage source start. Did not. It blew it all up. Blew it all up, folks. Every last thing I've done for the last hour just got blown up because I couldn't get out of that window. No. Well, it should go a lot faster to redo it. I don't know why it did it. I don't know how I ended up broken, but I have to go all the way back to here because I have to go do all this stuff again. I'm already here, but I have to do this. Wait, what stuff do I have already? I might have some stuff, because if I go to my all resources here and hit refresh, because the only thing that died really is the application itself, right? So so I have my app service, my storage account, they're all here. App service, so I created everything. I just need to actually deploy and set up. So I don't need to create a storage account. I already have that. I can go to here. The problem is going to be in the initialize the blob storage object model. That's just showing you how. Here's the actual exercise. Here's the thing I need to do. Again, copy. I gotta go here. Paste, because it's going to create it, and then I should be able to go into this next file, and I'd be willing to bet any number of things this does not have data in it anymore. What a nuisance. What a nuisance, man. So I got to go through and edit all this, add the NuGet package. I don't think I need to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. .NET restore. Oh, wait, did I? Caps. Try again. Oh. Maybe because I have to do both of these things. Well, it's always fun to do things multiple times. I guess that's the way you learn, right? The more you do it, the more it sticks. I did a lot of stuff. Okay. Then we got to do this, and then I got to go all the way over to blobstorage.cs. And then I gotta put these guys in, the using statements. And then I gotta go, let's see, this is where you want to initialize. If it doesn't exist, replace the current implementation of initialize. Go here. The only thing I need is the body. Go here. Control S for save. Man, what a no pain in the butt. Okay, so we already did that. Now we're on this one again. And listing blobs. Let's just go to the actual exercise. Blobstorage.cs. Replace get names with this because now it has async. I have to do the entire thing. Names, get names. And we'll go all the way up to here. Control S to save again. Go on to the next item, which is now back to where I was. Always fun doing this twice. Now we got the exercise. We got to replace the upload method. So we'll go here. See, we'll go to the upload method, which is it's the save method. The upload action is replacing the save method. Okay. Control S. And then we got to do the download action, which is going to replace the load method. Just down here. The whole method. Well, I don't think I have to do the whole method, but I am. Because it doesn't have an await. So you don't have to do it all, but I am. S. Okay, so we did the load, we did the save. Now we're back down to trying this stuff again. This time we'll try it again. I'm going to do, okay, so what I need to do is replay, I'm doing the app service plan create, which I don't think I need to create an app service plan because I already have an app service plan. Bob exercise plan. So if I go up here, see I have the app service plan, blob exercise plan is what I'm using. So again, I can go, then I don't have to do the create because I already have the create. So the only thing left to do is for me to go here and do the connection string creation, which is this one, which is your storage account name, which I have here. Which is copy. Try this again. Paste. So we got we're setting a variable for connection string. See if this one wants to work this time. Okay, so in theory, unrecognized argument, TSV. What the heck? Why doesn't it like the unrecognized argument, TSV? Example from AI knowledge base, AZ storage account, show connection string resource, name, storage account, get a connection string for storage account, AZ storage account, show connection string, storage account, resource name, subscription, get the subscription connection string for storage account. So it sounds to me like you don't need whatever that output TSV is. Maybe that's just a format or something. So I'm going to do it without that. Let's see what happens. So it looks like all you need, according to this little sampler, is it's the resource group. It says AZ storage account, show connection string, resource group, and storage account. So I got the storage account, show connection string, storage account, resource group. So I just got to have the resource group in here. I don't know why. We'll do that. So we're going to go, storage account is already there. And we'll just say resource dash group, and my resource group is which is interesting because the last time we had to do I'm getting my computer's freezing. Hold on a second. I don't know what it was doing there. Okay. All right, so this is the string I need to put in here. I was just building the string, assuming it's going to actually copy and paste. Copy. Paste. Okay, so I'm just building the string. So now we have the resource group. Don't need this piece. Did it do it again? Ah, it did it again. Why does it do that? Or it puts this little crap on there and you can't, and there's no way to undo the crap. See, it only goes back one level when you do that. Oh, I'm stuck. I can't undo the command again. All because it pasted it wrong. Why does it do that? I don't know how to... You can't undo your action. What is going on here? There's no way to get out of this. Enter, tab. There's no. Is there like a command up here that says clear the UI? Sense small, medium, large. What is this? I don't know what that is. That opens Azure? Weird. Okay. Doesn't tell you what it does. You just put your mouse over it. It just says, oh, open a new session. What is this? Upload, download files, search, bash, PowerShell. I don't know how to get out. Is there a... Alright, let's see. Azure CLI stuck on... I don't even know what that is. Stuck on... Fine? I don't know. Azure login hangs. Is it logged? Is it hung? How to clear command. Clear should clear. Doesn't clear anything. Sign in with Azure CLI at a command line. Azure cache. How to clear settings using delete Azure app configuration. See, clear doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. I tried clear. What else could I try? CLI. I don't know. I'm stuck again. I'm going to have to do it all over again because I don't know how to get out of this. There's got to be a way. I don't know how to get out of this. What if I just switch to PowerShell? I mean, it's just dumping everything I did. So I go back to bash. I assume this is my line. Oh, it does still exist. Oh, okay, didn't delete everything. Let's go. I'm gonna see if my stuff works. Is my stuff still there? Okay, everything's still there. That's good. The only line then I need to figure out how come it didn't work was my config app settings line. That's all I wanted to do. No, I needed to get my connection string line to work. You know what? I'm going to do this. Put it all in one line. Well, because I'm just thinking if I could put it all in one line, it might not do that. I mean, it could be delusional, but it could be. Oh, those slashes are probably the new line commands. I mean, if there's a problem with it, I don't have a problem with there being a problem with it. I have a problem with it not telling me there's a problem with it. So that's what's throwing me off. Oh yeah, it totally... What the heck is that? That's not what I just copied. I got one note. What the heck is it? what the heck is that? But at least it's now a single line. I don't know what the heck it just copied. I specifically went over there, clicked on it, copied, and then voila, here I am. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know what the heck it thought it was copying there. So we go here, right click, copy, go down here, right click, paste. There we go. Okay, so this is gonna work, right? Okay, so now we're here, in theory, and now I should be able to do this. I'm gonna do the same thing, right? I don't know why. I think those backslashes allow you to, they're like line continuation characters, but since things were not working for me, I'm afraid to do them. You know, the old burn me once, burn me twice. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, I'm stupid. I don't think that's the way it goes, but if see what that does. Oh, well, stuff happened at least. Trace back, most recent call last. Something happened. Error, extra data, line 1 to 19. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The command failed with an unexpected error. Here is the traceback. Not enough values to unpack. Not enough values to unpack. File. Line, JSON, return, strict. Well, I am in the right path still. I know that. So I did save everything here. So we know that's saved. Alright, so we're going to try this again. This time we're going to try and do it without the line continuation characters because that worked for my other thing. Wait, what? Oh. But I also had it. Oh no, I didn't. That was the last thing. Okay. Alright, so we got settings. The configuration string equals the configuration string I just created. Azure storage config. We're setting the connection string. And we're setting the file container name to files. I feel like there was another thing that referenced files. Maybe I didn't do that correctly. Get the storage account connection string with the AZ storage account show connection string and set the name of the container to be files. But none of these get container. What are they talking about? Resource group, plan, web app create, plan, name your app, plan, resource group, connection string. Does it not like? Did I not set something to files? Let's try this again. No. Yeah, thanks, man. I need luck. I tell you, working with Azure is a pain in the rear sometimes. It's like all of this client, when you do this stuff in the client, like my code here, this is temporary. So it only exists while I'm working in this screen. If I have to reset my screen for any reason, I lose all this stuff and I have to re-get it from GitHub or wherever they have it stored and rebuild it. Now luckily the changes aren't that much. I had to redo that earlier because I got stuck inside of my app. I couldn't get out of the command. So Azure is weird. It's finicky, man. But Yeah, I need luck to get through it. Okay, so this is I'm like at the end of this, but you can see I'm getting an error. I did everything else. Everything else worked. But it says the command fails unexpected error. Here is the traceback. Not enough values to unpack. Expected 2. Got 1. Well, 2 values of what? I have the name and the resource group. See, now up here it says AZ storage account, show connection string, and set the name of the container to be files. But where are we? So here's my problem. I'm looking for work. So I don't have a job already that's letting me do other things. Uh, Unfortunately, there's a very large there's a very large I don't know demand for Azure. Now it's not just Azure. I mean, there's a lot of different bits and pieces. I mean, there's Azure DevOps, and they may want Azure, but then they want, okay, well, we want you to know Azure, but we need you to know React or Angular or .NET Core 8 or Python or something. They all want a large list of things. And I've been a programmer for a long time, but I was C Sharp, most of it in .NET Framework. We're talking about 4, 4.5, before it switched over to .NET Core. And then SQL Server. Now, I've been doing SQL Server all the way along. I know SQL Server pretty well. It hasn't changed so much that it's not pretty transferable. But .NET, yeah, DevOps. Well, Azure DevOps is slightly different, right? Azure DevOps is kind of like the tool you use to manage your projects, right? Azure Cloud is like part of Azure, but you might use Azure DevOps to store your code, to run your projects, to store your task items. You'll use it. You do your builds with it, your pipelines, your releases. That's Azure DevOps. Azure Cloud is Microsoft's cloud thing. It's like Amazon Web Services, right? ADO is Azure DevOps is easy. Well, I won't say easy. There's a ton you can do in there, but mostly it seems to work. I've been using it for several years, so that's not so bad. But cloud is the thing that I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to learn. That's what everybody wants. Well, they either want AWS or they want Azure Cloud. So they want you to be one of those two things. And almost all the web stuff you're doing, web APIs and React and Angular and all those, I won't say all of them, but a large percentage of them are using one of those two things, AWS or Azure. If you're doing web APIs or anything like that, you're probably going to be doing it on one of those two platforms. And that's my thing. I'm trying to find the things, build up my skills so that I can get a job in one of these environments. Now, there's a catch-22 with that, right? Even if I learn all these and I actually start getting good at it, I'm going to have the problem of, hey, you need to have 5 years of experience in this and that and this and that. And I'm like, well, I got 3 months of experience. I've been working on them now for a couple months. And everybody's like, well, that's not enough experience, right? As a C# programmer, I took like a month and a half ago, I made the mistake of taking a Python. I wanted to know what Python's differences were between C# and Python. Because why do so many people use Python? Why do they want that over C#? Because to me, C# is easy, it's powerful, it's a great tool. I have no complaints about C#. But I see a lot of things out there want Python. So I said, well, what's the difference? Why do you... One idiot. One really nice, generous manager who wants to give me a job. after you get laid off, you get fired, you move on to another job, then he's wanting, no, just kidding. I don't want to say that either. But yeah, one person gives you the hiring. But that's true. But I'm just trying to give myself more options, right? I can apply for more jobs if I can at least say, I've done this stuff. I have some familiarity with this stuff. And if there's 1,000 jobs that want the 3 things I'm working on, and there's only 10 jobs doing this. But anyway, Python to me, I was like, okay, I've never done Python. I know nothing about Python. I'll take a Python fundamentals class. I'll just the bottom barrel Pythons class, just so I can see what it is, and maybe I can build up to knowing that one a little bit better. So I took the class, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a mistake, huge mistake, huge mistake. I did learn a little bit of syntactical differences between Python and C#, but that whole class was the fundamentals of programming, which are across the board the same, variables, loop structures, all that stuff. The fundamentals of how they work, why you use them, what's their purpose, is the same against all languages. And so I ended up spending, it was a pretty short class. Luckily, I was able to cram through it in a week or whatever. But I would definitely try to take like an advanced Python class so that I can see more advanced methods, more advanced things going on. The one thing I found very interesting about Python is its use of indentation as a form of structure. I thought that was interesting. I had never seen that before. That's definitely a new thing to me. C# uses squiggly brackets. A lot of languages use some form of brackets or begin end if you're doing SQL Server. And yeah, once you learn the syntax, a lot of the languages are the same, right? Every language is kind of similar. Hi. How was work?
Crazy. Okay, but not organized.
Yeah, first day.
Yeah.
I'll probably be wrapping it up pretty soon, and then I gotta take that thing out to my dad's. So if you want to go with me.
Yeah, Hallie said when I walk in, it smells like gas.
Yeah, down here it does a little bit. And you can't do much about it.
I have acupuncture at 1:30, so I'm going to use Caden's car to go to that.
Oh, okay. What time is it? 12:43.
But I'm going to try and go by kitty litter because they say if you pour it on it.
The thing is, there's no puddle. It's dried. It's like I don't know what you would put the kitty litter on.
Maybe if we just set it out.
Maybe put some over the top.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta get back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, you don't even know that indentation. It's like that was one of the things when I was going through the fundamentals class. I typed the exact code, and I didn't know that the indentation mattered so much. I probably skipped that piece of the video because the videos were redundant most of the time. But I clicked on it. I was like, what do you mean? I wrote, this is exactly the same. The only difference is this indentation. It can't matter. I'll fix the indentation. Let's see if that means anything. It'd be silly, ridiculous if that works. Oh, okay. Indentation matters. And that's when that bulb came on. It's like I learned that that's when I learned that indentation matters. But I could see that being a thing a lot. Where you're like, oh, this is just not, because your whole area of code, if one little thing is off, suddenly changes the entire meaning of that block, right? If you have one that's in and that needs to be pushed forward, or push forward an extra one to make sure it's in the next loop. So yeah, that's tricky. Now there are UIs, code like VS Code. There's indentation tools that'll make sure that your indentation is correct, but it can't fix things it don't know. Maybe you meant to bring that one out a line, so it's not going to fix it for you. So anyway, I got to try to figure out why I'm getting this error. It's the last line of this web app config app settings. I don't know why it doesn't like it. So there's something it doesn't like. I did notice earlier that this TSV thing, it didn't like this. I've had people recommend ChatGPT a few times. I've tried it with things. But is it this one? No, it's not this one. There was one that actually gave me an AI answer, which is weird. But I have found chat to be, I have yet to be successful with it. Let me give it a try. I'll try it again. Let's see what it does. My experience with AI has been not as good as some people's apparently. I ask it questions, and it just typically just gives me nonsense. But let's go here. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I'm thinking that is something changed because, like I was mentioning before, one of the problems I've had with these. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. But what I'm saying is, one of the things I've noticed about this Coursera class is it's 2 years old, and as a result, some stuff has been deprecated in Azure. It's changed, it's altered in some way. And one of them was it no longer uses this output.tsv. It didn't even recognize this as a thing, but it worked when I put it in the way it said. AI answer for this is so. All right, so all right, let's just see what this says. And the problem is there's a variable in here, so that's going to mess up. It's going to mess up the AI a little bit. Let's see, where was I? Here. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to paste this. What is the correct? What is the fix for this command? Syntax. Here's the corrected command. Name, yeah. Resource group, yeah. Settings, yeah. Azure storage config connection string. Azure storage connection string file container name. So do they actually, is that actually different? It is different. All right, well, let's see what it does. Let's see how smart, let's go see how smart AI is. We'll put that in. So the only thing is, all right, let's try it. Well, it didn't error. I guess this is redacted. Use AZ web app, logic app, function app, config app settings list to view. Well, it did fix my the problem of error. I'm impressed. If it worked, guess we'll know in a minute. No. Why does it do that? Why can't it just paste what I put in there? What is it always doing that for? Oh, apps. AZ. Web app, logic app, function app. Well, that's not even going to do anything. I have to put in the logic app and the function app config. You know what? I could probably just go to my function app. Yeah, but why would Copilot be bad? Copilot is ChatGPT. They base it completely. I mean, it's Microsoft. Microsoft owns a huge chunk, if not the majority, of ChatGPT. And they build Copilot off of ChatGPT. I mean, maybe it's more complete. I don't know. But it kind of sort of worked. I don't know. It might have worked. If it didn't work, I'll try ChatGPT directly in a minute. Let's see what this did. To handle code better. Why? What is Copilot based on? What version of ChatGPT is Copilot based on? Let's see. What version of ChatGPT is Copilot using? Sure. ChatGPT, the model is based on combination of 3.5 and 4. The more advanced sibling, ChatGPT 4, enhanced ChatGPT's capabilities, making it smarter and faster. It's the current state of the art. See? It uses ChatGPT 3.5, and it's even using whatever the next generation of ChatGPT is. Now, maybe it's an output thing. You know, maybe their interface might do a better output, but I didn't see anything wrong with the output. You know, some things do kind of have a better layout and stuff, but I think the logic is the same. But yeah, I mean, it's possible Copilot's putting stuff out in a different format. Let's see. GitHub. I thought GitHub's Copilot. Somebody said it was going away or something. I think they were something about it. I thought I heard something about that recently. Let's go to ChatGPT. Let's go to. I think I have an account on here. OpenAI, ChatGPT. And start now. All right, let's see how it differs in its response to the same question. Oops, maybe I can't. I don't have that quite. Oh, I guess it doesn't. I thought it had my history on here. All right, so let's go. Here. I'm just going to see if it looks different in the response. I mean, it seemed to answer it seemed to give me the answer, but let's go here. What is the correct syntax for this command? Oh, nope, that won't work because that's not the one that aired. Oh wait, yes it is, never mind. Okay, so it does appear to be output. How different is it? Okay, so the results are the same. Yes, this is the same I did earlier. Or no. Oh, maybe it's not. How is that different? Okay, so this is slightly different. You're right. There is a difference here. No, I'm trying to determine what that is. Name, resource group. They both did the settings thing, but this one put it in quotes, calling it underscore connection string. This one still used the similar syntax, but putting it in quotes. Yeah, it does seem to explain more what it's doing, and it did do a slightly different version. Let's go ahead and see what happens if I paste that. I mean, really, I'm just setting a setting, so if it's theoretically marking the same thing, it should work the same, right? See what that does. App settings have been redacted. It's interesting if you look at this, the way that worked is it appears to have created the name multiple times. See, like before I had the three connection string, file, container name, and website node version. They both said the same thing about it being redacted. So I got website node version, connection string, file, container name. But then down here, it did it again. It only added the two that I asked for, no third, but it actually has connection string and file container name. So they both did it. They both added something. They did it in a different format. I'm going to use this. Hopefully this is the correct one, because I think this is what it asked me to do. So this Copilot rewrote it to use these underscore things. But I think the key part of that is the quotes. Each setting should be enclosed in double quotes. This ensures that the entire setting. So that was the key element to that, is that the quotes were missing, because I don't think I did the quotes. And then separating the settings option should contain each value key pair. And I think that, see, my original one had settings, but I didn't put them in quotes. That's what it came down to, is the double quotes. It's cool that it showed me the correction and gave it to me. I think that is actually quite useful. But it could also, just telling me this, told me what the problem was. And it could have just told me that. What if I had said, what's wrong with this? They could have said, just the answer. But giving me the correct answer is kind of cool, or the correct formatting. So yeah, I think it's potential. Yeah, I mean, I like to see the code. I'm a visual person, so having it tell me, I would have figured it out if it had only done this, is all I'm saying. But having this is nice, because now I don't have to go rewrite it. Now, that said, can I do the next step without a problem? Will the next step work? Let's see. Now that we've gotten through there, because I still think I might have a problem here, but we now created the files. Now you'll deploy the app following the commands below. Publish the site. Yeah, fingers crossed, no doubt. Okay, make sure your shell is still in the MS Learn. I am still in that Learn. So now I should be able to take these, copy, paste, and enter. So ultimately it's going to use one of, something's happening. It is building it. So hopefully either way it's going to find the right setting it needs, whatever format it's looking for. I think it's going to be looking for it in the file container version. Now unless it goes in there and goes, hey, this exists twice because they're set up twice. Public is not valid for this item. All projects are up to date for restore. Oh, okay. I don't think that's a problem, because it was just setting up the data version. Let's see what this says. Public is not valid for this item. Did I not change something correctly? Which one didn't I like? It says not valid for this item. So if I go to blob storage, what did I have set up for public? Oh, everything's public. The whole thing's public. Public class, public methods, everything's public. So what is the problem? The modifier public is not valid for this item. Storage. File uploader. Start file uploader.cs project. Wait a minute. Bash, cd, pub. No such file or directory. Zip, IO, error. No such file or directory. Okay, so this isn't good. Zip error. File not found or no read permission. Site.zip. Okay, so that errored a bunch. That errored a whole bunch. The whole command. So we are still in that directory. You can use, I can see that I'm in that directory. To change directory to this location. Then .NET publish -o pub, cd pub, zip r, site zip. Star. Yeah, so it doesn't, something about it. You know what it could be, and I wouldn't put it past it. One of the things about, oh no, it shouldn't be. No, never mind. I was thinking it was gonna find it not. But why are these not existing? To see the running app in a browser. You know, that's not gonna work if I can't open. AZ web app deployment source config.zip. Let's see what happens if I run this next line. I'm going to copy this. I don't think this is going to work, to be honest. It's too many errors here to imply that things blew up. So I don't see how it works at this point. But and it's both. It doesn't even seem like it's related to the config file problem. It looks like it's related to file locations, which is not one of the config file items. So I got to put my app name in here. App service plan, create your unique app name, right? Copy. Paste. And the resource group. Easy. 2200. Whoa, it's late there, man. Sounds good, man. You have a good one. Yeah, it's late there. Be sure you get some rest while you're at it. Go to bed at some time. You have a good one. Let's see here. So I'm going to try to paste this guy and just see if the next set of lines will work if things are there. I feel like they're not, because it's saying the zip IO error, no such file or directory, no such file or directory. So we did not even get to file not found. See, I don't see how this is going to work. So it's going to come down to if that config.zip actually exists. I don't think it's going to, but let's see what happens. Yeah. Here it goes. Whoa! Holy moly, what the heck. Getting scum site credentials for zip deployment. The command failed. Here is the traceback. No such file or directory. Yeah, see, it's not, the files don't exist. So it couldn't do that last command. Yep. What just happened here? So .NET, man, I don't even, what if I just do one line at a time? No, that won't work. opub, cd, no, yeah, okay, so this is, I don't know, I don't think it's going to matter, but let's do this. Paste. All projects are up to date for restore. And then we go cd pub. See, it's not there. So that publication, that first line has to work, and it's not finding. Something about this public is not valid for this item. File uploader cs proj. Yeah, I think I tell you, there's some issues with these Coursera steps. You know, hmm, there's got to be a next step here. -o pub. So, I mean, we didn't even get to this, but it's saying it does. I mean, it's like it knows of my files because it says blobstorage.cs, which is right here. The modifier public is not valid for this item, whatever the heck this item is. Is there even more on here? I think it just wraps around. It's home /Kenneth / blah, 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 blah. So it's just wrapping. So file uploader.csproj. And that's this guy here. Include. I mean, some of these could just be outdated. I mean, really. Net Core App 3.1. Microsoft Visual Studio Code Generation Tool version 2.04. Windows Azure Storage version 9.33. Wonder what would happen if I updated these files to more current. I mean, I know it's written in .NET Core, but it's .NET Core 3.1. I mean, aren't we like on 8? Jeez. And they actually just jumped, right? Because it went .NET Core 3.1, 4, 5, 8 or something like that. It's not like we're, 5 off. I don't think they did the ones in the middle because they just, once they combined framework with core, they jumped to 8 so that it looks like it's the next iteration. But I think they actually jumped over a couple of versions. All right, so, or maybe it was 3, and then when they merged, it went to 6, and then to 8, or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go see what the latest version of this is. I think there's actually a command for this because there's a way to check, but I don't know how to do that in the CLI here. Let's see if it shows a version when I click on it. Wait, what? Microsoft Visual version. Yeah. Code generation tools. Code generation design. Oh, tools is 2.04. No, that's okay. That one appears to be up to date. That was 2018 though. Jeez. Visual Studio Web Code Generation.design 8.02. See, it switched. I think it switched. Latest version. Yeah, it changed. I have a feeling it's using Code Generation Design 8.02. See, code generation tool for ASP.NET Core contains the .NET ASP.NET Code Generator command used for generating controllers and views. Yeah. I bet you that's the change. I'm gonna do something that's not gonna help my case. But you know what? If it doesn't work, what's the worst that can happen? It didn't work before. Let's just update things because maybe sometimes things don't work because the latest version of the world doesn't like it. Now, if I was using Sandbox, this stuff would probably be more reliable. I did not use the Sandbox because this did not take me to a Sandbox, which means I would have had to go create one. And I don't, it's a little bit different. Let's go Windows Azure.storage. Windows Azure dot storage. Latest version. Alright, that looks like it is 9.3.3. Storage blob is bigger, but let's go with that one. Oh, anyway, did I do that right? I think if I change that to designer, it's supposed to be design. Let's not use the wrong words. Let's see. I'm going to leave it targeting the .NET Core App 3.1 framework. Alright, so we're going to try doing this again. Now we got something else. One of two projects. Okay, so I did something different. It still does not like package Microsoft Visual Studio Web Code Design 8.02. Did I say that is 8.02? Not compatible with .NET Core App 2.2. So I have to change this. If I change this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a problem. If I change 3.1, it doesn't like. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to break something in that way. If it doesn't work here, I will have. Yeah. Dang it. Latest version. So backward compatibility. Net Core App 3.1 or Net Core App. Net Core App. Microsoft.NET Core App reference 8.06. Whoa. There's 2.28. So I can just do .NET Core. Yeah. Yeah. Net Core App. 3.1. .NET Core 3.10. Yeah, see, I'd have to download and install the latest version of .NET. Oh, I am just totally going off into the weeds here. Yeah, I don't think... so that was the latest version of tools. It's the latest version of storage. But something feels deprecated. Something feels off. I don't know what it is. Something is not... well, something doesn't work. But... I have a feeling my problem is that this does not want to run outside of Sandbox, because Sandbox uses an older version of Azure simply to make things work in that environment. That's why you use Sandbox. Well, it's not why, but it's one reason to use it, because it allows for the outdated state. So as they advance Azure, your classes don't get broken. I think I'm trying to use my environment, which is the latest version of Azure, and it doesn't like code generation tools. Yeah, if I change this back, it's not going to work because it doesn't like me. So the only option at this point, or I won't say the only option, it's the only option I currently got left in my mind, 0.0.4, is that I need to and then the red. So it's like it does the restore, it does projects are up to date for restore, and then it just craps out. The modifier public is not valid for this item file uploader CSproj, and I don't even know what public item it's referring to, because in CSproj there is none. Well, CSproj holds all of these files, so the problem is storage, and I don't know what I mean, what's public? I mean, everything's public. Public class, public blob storage, task initialize, they're all public. So all I could figure is there is an option that perhaps I updated something incorrectly. So here's the, oh, that was the creation. That's not going to do anything. And so that's the git clone. That's not going to do anything. Add the new git package. Did I do this? Oh, I did do that. Storage.cs. I put the commands in there using public task initialize. Public task initialize. So it doesn't tell you what the problem is. It says the modifier is not valid for this item. And it's in public storage.cs. Start models public storage.cs. The modifier public. So 3113, what does that mean exactly? Is it this one? Oh, look, I do have a bug. Oh, dude, look at that. I didn't replace the whole name. Oh my gosh. Dude, Ken, so bad. I did do that. I did do that. Shame on me. All right, let's try that again. Going down to all these rabbit trails, trying to find a solution for something that was just me syntactically screwing things up. You know, it's kind of funny. That's how bugs happen a lot. You're like, couldn't be anything. I did. I mean, come on, developers. You know what I'm talking about. It's never the developer. This is why it's developers. The bigger the developer's ego, the more likely they're gonna be going down the rabbit hole. So apparently I have a pretty good size ego, because I was going pretty deep into the rabbit hole, going, no, couldn't be me. Like, there had to be something wrong with Azure. Azure is broken. I'm telling you, man. It's Azure's fault. I don't make mistakes. cdpub. Okay, let's see what this does now. See, I gotta do the zip command. See what happens. Here it is. Zip. Look at that. Look at that, man. It's working. It worked. It was instantaneous, too. Holy moly. Yeah. Just want to slap myself sometimes. You're not perfect, Ken. What do you mean I'm not perfect? How can I not be perfect? God made me perfect. There's no way I can make mistakes. God's going, yeah, well, I made you functionally perfect, but that's all on your own problem. The body can do what it does, but hey, you're an idiot. If you're using it incorrectly, it's like, all I did was give you the tools to do the job. If you can't do it, it's your own fault. What? What are you saying, man? You saying that I'm not the genius I thought I was? Oh, this is not going to work. Okay, I got to go get the right, I got to go fix this command. Control A, Control C, we'll put that one over here. If I go put my item in here. Alright, so this is the storage account. try this again. Just delete this thing. Try pasting this thing. Okay, I added E because I didn't get the whole thing. And enter. There are no credentials provided in your command environment. We will query for account key for your storage account. It is recommended to provide. Wait, didn't I not do that? Oh wait, did it say I was supposed to put something in and I forgot it? Try uploading and downloading some files to test the app. After you've uploaded a few times, to see the blobs that have been uploaded to the container, run the following code. Oh, so I need to go in here. In theory, it's already up here, so I should not have to do anything. I'm where was I? Oops, cancel. I did refresh. What do I got here? All resources. So what did I create? I created my app service, storage account, service plan. Resource group, web app. There's the AMG AZ204 mod 4 app. So, did it work? Don't know. In addition, setting the corresponding environment variables can avoid inputting credentials in your command. Please use help to get more information about environment variable usage. You also can add auth mode login in your command to use Azure Active Directory, which I don't have, by the way, set up. It is recommended to provide connection string, account key, or SAS token in your command as credentials. Okay, to see the running app in a browser, open HTTPS. All right, let's do that. Let's just do the open HTTPS, whatever it says there. We'll copy this page. Alright, we'll go back to my command here and we'll say HTTPS my app name was AZ204 mod 4 app. AzureWebsites.net. It says my app is running and waiting for your content. It should look like the following image. What image? Do you see an image here? I do not see an image. What following image? It's probably like this image. Try uploading and downloading some files to the test app. The web app is live, but we don't have your content yet. If you've already deployed, it could take up to 5 minutes for your content to show up. So something didn't work then, because I did do the deploy. That's what this thing is. AZ web app deployment source config, but it said 5 minutes. Probably hasn't been 5 minutes, though it's closing in on 5 minutes. Because it says source bash, your unique web app, no such file or directory. Oh, wait, did I screw something up? I did screw something up. Man, I'm on a roll, man. That's not going to work. I put the resource group in, but I did not put the wait, no, I didn't. It's right here. And then resource group, no, that's right. Wait, what did I? Okay, that's really weird. So the thing I have is right here. How did I not? Did I copy and paste and not use the correct one? Copy. Let's try that again. Paste. That's what I'm supposed to be using. I don't know what that was, but this is what I'm supposed to be using. Aha, look. Different words. There it goes. Horgly Morgly Ken. I tell you. I'm just... I must be tired. I'm hungry. I'm hangry. I feel like I need some food. Haven't eaten a full meal today. It's time for me to go eat and take a break. That's what the problem is. I think sometimes you just need to get away and redirect your brain. Okay, so that worked. Now I should be able to go over to, well, in theory, go back to this. And at some point this will link, and I should be able to hit refresh here and try again. Blah! Look at that! It works! It works, everybody. Upload files. Drop files here or click to upload. Let's do both. Let's go here. Let's go find some cool pictures. Let's upload my ladder app thing. By the way, this is the other thing I've been working on. If you look at some of my other streams, you'll see that I've been doing creating a ladder app. So, if you want to know what that is, just text me and say, I want to know what that is. What do you mean, a ladder app? Okay, so I did that, but there's no button that says submit. Okay, so I didn't like that. Or maybe I can't do a text file because it's blowing up. Maybe I can't do a text file. Is there a limit? Maybe. Oh, maybe it has to be little. A little image. What's a little file? So let's go to documents. Let's see. I don't think I have anything. Should I do like a resume? Why not? Let's put a resume in there. Maybe it'll do a resume. 0.7 megabytes. Okay, so it's doing something with that one. Oh, is it still airing? It did. It kind of looked like it was doing something, but now it looks like it blew up again. Is it too big? It doesn't say how big the file has to be. It just says it. All right. Error. File uploader. Error. An error occurred while processing your request. Develop mode. Swapping to strong. Strong development environment should not be enabled in deployment applications as it can result in sensitive information. For local debugging, development environment can be enabled by strong. Is it too big still? I don't know. I guess it's too big. Alright, we'll try picking a file. Gosh, I don't know what I can put in here. What kind of small file does it want? Alright, let's go here and we'll go by no, I don't want sorting. I want Yeah, sort by size. Let's just do something super tiny. No, not biggest first. Smallest first. Some of these are pretty tiny. Well, how big is that one? 14 kilobytes. Let's do that one. Okay, I don't know what the problem is then. It's like, that's pretty small, 14 kilobytes. If it's still failing, there's still a problem. An error occurred while processing your request. Well, we're getting closer, but it doesn't work. I'm going to take a break. I got some things I got to get done this afternoon. I will take a look at this later and to see if I can figure out the ultimate goal. Maybe I still have a typo. What's strange is it shouldn't have compiled and built at all if I still had a typo. But obviously the upload's not working. There is an upload step I had to do. Maybe I missed something or missed a line or something got wonky, but it tried to upload this. You can see that it's having a fit. It just doesn't tell me why. It just says an error occurred, and then that's about it. An error occurred while processing, strong ID, development mode, swapping to environment will display more detailed information about the error. Development environment will show more information, but I'm not in that. So, all right, I'm gonna take a break. We'll call it good for the moment. We'll just call this part one of this thing, I guess. So close, man. I wanted to get done because if this would have worked, I could have done my test prep and moved on. I'd be mod 5, and I can be only, that's it, the last module for this course. But I'm not done. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to it. Till later, till the next time, you take it easy.